Hi, my name is Reabetswe Ngoasheng, and I play the violin and the viola for the Muses. I started when I was 8 at a music conservatoire in Soweto. I come from a musical family, so it was always like our life was to sing. And I think when I just turned 8, my dad bought me a violin and he was like, this was going to be your life, basically. And that's how it was. Ever since then, I went to study at the National School of the Arts. I did violin, voice, and music history. And then I went to study at UJ. And now I'm a full-time musician. It's my life. Because I come from a musical family, music was always around. All my sisters sang in the choir at some point in their lives. My dad is a conductor of a community choir, and on Saturdays, my sister and I used to go for it was like ballroom dancing, but it was like something we did to pass our time. And then we'd go to rehearsals with my parents and we'd do like our homework while my parents were like singing and stuff. So it's always been in me. And I sang at some point, and then I remember when my dad actually bought me the violin, that's when I decided to shift from singing to like being an instrumentalist. And I remember it was just the craziest like time in my life where I was like so excited and was like so passionate about it. I remember even in school, like during Afrikaans, because I hated Afrikaans because I was bad at it, not because, yeah, but anyway. And I used to write music out, like literally like arrange music for a string quartet, and then after school I'd go to like rehearsal. I had to take my violin to school and I'd put it in the front of the class and everybody would make fun of me. And I didn't care. Like at some point I was like, this is what I want to do. And I went to NSA and literally I developed like a discipline and a structure just to perfect and I'm not even there, but try to perfect the art of violin playing and actually music in its own and as a discipline. So yeah, it really, I think it teaches you how to be determined and also be passionate about something, but also work hard and be disciplined about life. Okay, so you want to become a violinist. First of all, you buy a violin. And what do? You find a violin teacher. That's imperative, because the violin, unlike the guitar, you can't teach yourself. And I'd say find a violin teacher or find a music school that you can go to. I know there's one in Soweto. I started playing there, the Soweto Music Conservatoire. I think they still have lessons on Sundays. Although it's like group lessons, it's really good for a person that's a beginner to start with other people and then grow into taking private lessons. And then I'd say practice and practice and practice and practice some more. And do everything your teacher tells you. Follow the disciplines, because it's actually very difficult. It's so many things put into one. It's how you hold your instrument, the position of your left hand and the position of your right hand. And like both of them have two different techniques that have to go like in sync with each other. So and then just be dedicated, be willing to give literally your entire life to an art. Like it's not like, and I'm not like being like throwing shade or whatever, it's not like being a singer or being a hip-hop artist. You just don't, I want to rap and now I'm like rapping and I'm on a video. It's not as easy as that. Literally you have to give your entire being to becoming an artist. And once you get to a place where you're very confident about your skill, I'd say try to work with people that are in the same school of mind musically with you. Play in an orchestra, play in a band, and also be creative. You don't literally have to just play like Bach and Mozart and be rigid in your craft. You can play hip hop, you can play pop. There's so many people on the internet, and especially in America right now, that are being very creative with like their instrument skills. So don't be set in one genre, and just be dedicated and be hardworking. When I started playing, I think it was at the beginning of my varsity year, I met Olivia, who is the founder of the Muses, and we started playing at shows, and we did like background lounge, wannabe jazz type stuff, and we used to have a vocalist, and we used to play like in at events as like the background strings, and just to create ambiance. And at the end of 2010, she decided, I want to do something different. I want to like get a bunch of girls together that are that sound good together, that look good on stage. Yeah, we wanted to do something different, and she got Mia and Anna to join. At the time it was Anna was still in the group, and her, and she gave me a call. She's like, listen, we're doing this thing, don't you want to come join us? But the catch was I had to play viola in the group. I'm not a viola player by trade, I'm a violinist. So I had to learn not completely different. You play same principle as how you play the violin. It's just a fifth lower. It's more tenor than like soprano, which the violin is. So I had to learn how to read viola clef, which is tenor clef, and I had to learn literally how to play a lower instrument. It's heavier. Like I got marks on my shoulder blades because how heavy it is, and it's just different sounding. So I literally had to learn how to make a different sound on the viola and be comfortable enough on it to be on stage and play like pop music and dance and be in heels and concentrate on what I'm playing. But it's been fun. Since 2011, we released our first album, Pop on Strings, and I think that's when the Muses actually took shape. From there, we went to release our second one last year, and right now we're in the midst of recording our third one. So things have been actually really, things have gone really well for the Muses. Yeah. I've being the only black person in the Muses, I've gotten a lot of, different reactions. I think some people are like, wow, I mean, how cool for a black girl, we haven't seen, like, especially like from the black community, you get that we haven't seen like people in our culture do this, you've made us so proud. But, and then you get the difference in like, can she really play though? Like, is it just like a BE front or, like, you get so many different reactions. And I think the most important reaction for me is that I'm not in the group because I'm black. I didn't start playing in the group because I thought, oh, how cool, I'll be the only one that stands out. I'm actually really good friends with the girls. And, I met Olivia sitting in orchestra, and she was sitting next to me. So I had nothing to prove to her or to anyone. I was literally doing my job. And she heard me play, and she was like, listen, what do you do? I have this group. I would really like you to join us and everything. So I think my talent did prove, my way into the group. And right now I think the personalities gel so much that I just happen to be black and they happen to be white. But I think in the ideal world we'd all be like yellow and still be happy with it or whatever. Yeah, but realistically, because we live in South Africa and race is such prevalent issue, it will come up more times than I would like it to come up, but it will probably come up. And the most important thing for me, I think, is just knowing that I am talented, I am blessed. My talent, it does come from God, and nobody has I think nobody has the authority to judge me or to belittle me because I'm black or because of whatever, you know, and I really don't care. Yeah. South African women are even hotter. And yes, Hi, my name is Ruby, and I play the violin, and you're watching Cooler Box TV.